Many thanks for choosing us. We begin with former Vice President Kwesi AmissahArthur, who has expressed disappointment over the implementation of the free SHS policy and urged government to do better in 2018. According to him, the program could be made a lot better if the government would consult widely with experts and stakeholders to fine-tune it. The former Vice President was speaking to journalists after he and his wife made a donation to the Volta Regional Hospital. Said he was unconvinced that the policies being implemented by the Akufo-Addo-led government were well thought through.
Oh, they could have done much better. The government could do not better. I think that that's what we are hoping for in the coming year, and able to resolve a lot of the problems. I think that programs have been adopted, implemented without a full conceptualization of the implications, if you want it, of the costs. And that is, so like we are moving and then resolving as we go. A lot of these programs should have been costed, agreed, and implemented from day one, rather than let's start and muddle our way through. And I think there's been a lot of muddling our way through the implementation, especially the free SHS is a problem.
On the flag bearership race in the opposition National Democratic Congress, he said it was too early for the people to be jostling over a candidate for the 2020 election, arguing the NDC needs to first reorganize and strengthen the grassroots. Among the items donated to the Volta Regional Hospital by the former Vice President and his wife, Matilda, on Christmas Day include food items, toiletries, detergents, and assorted drinks worth 20,000 cedis.
Why are people so interested in candidacy and leadership? They are reorganizing the party to make it stronger, to make it a voice that reflects the mood of the people. So I don't think that it is time for leadership yet, because the leader will come from a reorganized party, not a leader imposed on a party that is disorganized, but a reorganized, strong party at the branch level will elect a leader that represents the best interests of our country.
Away from the Vice President, the Offensive Municipal Assembly says it is on high alert to avert any cases of meningitis in the area. Among other strategies, officials say is collaboration with health authorities to educate schools and communities. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
The outbreak of meningitis in recent times has ignited national discussion. Many Ghanaians have expressed worry about continued reported cases. Offensive Municipal Chief Executive Solomon Kwesi, however, says it is time for action.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I've discussed with the Municipal Director of Health to get me some doctors who will be going around to various institutions and educate the students or the schools on the causes and prevention of this disease. And I know right when they come from holidays, I mean January, this education will start.
That will be, and how long will it take?
Well, for that one, it will depend upon the doctors, their time. But I'm saying they will visit the various institutions and then some communities as well to educate them.
At the town hall meeting, residents raised many concerns.
Yeah, I believe You spoke about revenue collection, but people are raising concerns. They may pay taxes but will not get the social amenities they need, like street lights to prevent themselves from snake bites.
This is Mr. Kwesi's response.
If we do not pay our taxes, we won't get the money to develop Ofinso. We cannot construct roads without your taxes. Our revenue collection is not enough to address the challenges, and renting a grader is quite expensive.
Issues about planting for food and jobs came up at the meeting.
We have been into farming for a very long time, but there is nothing to show. What are you doing to change our stories? You will only hear Karim or Mohammed, who are farmers, but you will not see any of us from Central Business District in farming. What are you doing to get us, the youth, involved in farming? I want to draw your attention to the new rice that we have introduced. It is not grown at the near streams, but even if you want to do that, then you have to grow it 100 meters away, or at least 30 meters from the stream. That is what we taught the farmers. Hence, any farmer can take advantage.
Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reporting.
Still in the Ashanti region, the Asante Achim District Police Commander, Chief Superintendent George Ohini Boedi Bosman, has justified the destruction of cattle in the Agogo town by the military. It follows a standoff between the military and the nomadic herdsmen who are being evicted from their settlement. Chief Superintendent Bosman tells Joy News that forceful eviction comes after several engagements with the nomadic herdsmen about relocating them in compliance with a 2013 court order.
Anytime you go to the field to drive this Fulani away, they charge the cattle on you. They talk to the cattle. They speak to them. The cattle will charge on you. So if they are charging on us, as military and police, should we stand for the cattle to kill us? I think Ohimi Tevia did a documentary when you saw the Fulani talking to the cattle and chasing the police. We don't have any alternative than to shoot and kill.
He dismissed claims that their action has deprived the people of their livelihoods, explaining there were several attempts to avoid the use of force.
To the head of Fulani called Osman, who is in Kumasi, the chief of Fulani, I spoke to the one in Accra. We had a series of meetings. The last meeting we had was about 1 month, 1.5 months. We told them, the people of Ogogo, they made their farm purposely to ensure that they have some gains and they can pay their children's school fees and they can pay back their loans. But these Fulani people have decided that they will go to Agosula to destroy their produce. These Fulani men has come to the land to take over absolutely on their land. They want to possess cattle, but they don't want to feed them. All they do is that they go to people's farm, use their cattle to destroy people's farm. 40 acres, 20 acres, 30 acres, maize farm, rice farm, watermelon. These Fulani will go and destroy it. All that we are saying is that if you, as much as you want to own your cattle, the Agogo people in Jadens also want to have their farm so that they can also use the farm produce after they harvest to take care of their children's school fees and also to make livelihood.
This is Joy News Prime. We take a break. We're back with more. Welcome back to the news. Now to the rest of our stories. And 3 passengers of TAP Portugal who were forcibly kicked off a flight last Saturday for refusing to give up their seats to another passenger have vowed to sue the airline. The 3 ladies who were en route to the island of Sao Tome for Christmas had been checked onto the flight and were waiting to board when 2 of them were approached with the offer to give up their seats and fly the next day. Airport security were eventually called in to drag them out of the airport when they declined the offer.
They are telling me I can't fly. It's not quite normal. You can't touch me. So don't touch me. Don't touch me.
That is it.
Don't touch me. You can't touch me.
Don't record. If you record, that is my place. Don't.
If I record this one.
Hey.
If I record this one.
Oh, me, hey.
5 months ago, with a pre-assessment.
I will record it. I need evidence.
I checked online.
Please, I have the right to. I'm not taking you a picture.
You printed my boarding pass to me.
We know our right to. Don't take us for granted.
I mean,
we know our rights.
What do you think?
You know us.
I'm not leaving. I have a boarding pass. I have everything showing that I'm boarding. I'm not leaving. I've told you. I've explained. I don't care.
They told Joy News' AmissahArthur they haven't heard from the airline since the incident and have contacted their lawyers to sue the airline.
On the 14th of July, we booked tickets from Ghana to Sao Tome, and we scheduled a trip for 23rd to 28th. So when we bought the tickets, we had an assigned seat number. So I had seat number 13A, then Evelyn had 13B, and my sister, who is a Fordham, had 13C. So on Friday, we're supposed to travel on Saturday, but on Friday they opened the online check-in. Then we went into their portal, we checked in, and we still had the seat numbers that we were assigned when we bought the tickets. We finished with the check-in, then on Saturday, we went to the airport to get our boarding passes. So we just proceeded with the departure formality, went through immigration, did everything, and went to our gate, which is gate 2, to wait for boarding. Then I was there with my sister and Evelyn when the TAP official sent one of their staff to come and call Evelyn and myself that they needed us downstairs. So we got there. Then Georgia said, "Madam, we have an issue. There's been an incident of overbooking and we would have to drop Evelyn and you." So I firmly declined and told Georgia, "No, I'm not going to agree. You should have told me that before you issued me a boarding pass." I was still in the waiting area. Then the TAP official, one of the guys approached me and he said I was needed at the counter. Then I asked him to go and I was going to come back later on. Then he came back with a security guy to escort us, that I didn't have the right to be in that waiting area, which I told him I'm not moving an inch because I have been cleared. I've gone through all the formalities.
There were 4 security guys there, and then I think 4 TAP officials also in presence before the foreigners, and they said they were not letting us enter. So they started pushing Ifra, even though she had their ticket and everything. They started pushing her. So I took out my phone. I was going to record what was happening to both of them, and then one security guy just held my neck and pushed me on a metal chair right behind me. He was struggling to take the phone out of me so that I won't record. So I gave him the phone. I had another phone in my bag. I took that one out and I said, we need evidence, because we know that this thing, if we don't film something, then they're going to use their word against us and call us liars. Obviously, they told us we stole the boarding passes. So what else can they say? We told them we were videoing. The guy hit me again. The first one wasn't even like a good lesson. He hit me again in front of everybody, and they made us look like criminals in front of all the foreigners. That is so unfair.
If airlines have their flights overbooked, usually the protocol is that they announce that, oh, we are overbooked, and then they offer you something so that you can give up your seats. Did they do that?
Please, nothing like that happened. Actually, when we were in the waiting area, the lady, the TAP official, she sent one of the ladies with our names written on a paper. So she came and she was like, "Evelyn Ajekum and Ekwa Odum Semwa, please, can you come downstairs with me?" So we went with her, and the 2 of us with the Georgette and Louisa were standing there. Nobody knew about any overbooking. They didn't announce it. They didn't ask for volunteers. They just targeted us because they thought we were small girls.
We launched a complaint with the KIA police station. Then we were given some forms to go for medicals. So we went to 37 military hospital and we were given a medical report. which we've already filed with the police. We are going to sue the airline because we feel we have been discriminated against, we've been abused, and they've also breached their contract because as far as we are concerned, they were supposed to get us from Ghana to Sao Tome, and all these things didn't happen.
Don't record. If you record, that is my place. Don't.
This one. If I record this one. Hey. If I record this one.
Well, the ladies say they want TAP Portugal to acknowledge its wrongdoing and apologize. Let's move on to other stories. And District Chief Executive for Dafiama Busi Issa has expressed worry over the performance of students in this year's Basic Education Certificate examination. He stated that although the results of 2017 saw a marginal improvement from that of 2016, it is still not the best. Nadi Imoro Sanda has been speaking at the second ordinary meeting of the Assembly at Issa. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Issa in the Dafiama Busi district.
Addressing the 20-member Dafiama Busi Issa District Assembly, District Chief Executive Nadi Imoro Sanda noted that the district has been relatively peaceful and calm. Whilst applauded the people of the district for the relative peace in the area, he urged security agencies, assembly members and traditional rulers to continue to contribute their part to maintain the existing peace and stability across the district. Mr. Nadi Imoro Sanda, however, was not happy about the performance of students at this year's Basic Education Certificate examination, even though there have been marginal improvement as compared to last year.
It is sad to note that out of 486 candidates who sat for the 2017 BECE, only 209 passed, while 287 failed, representing 42% and 58% respectively. Again, our overall best aggregate has declined from 10 in 2016 to 15 in 2017. This is not good, especially for a district that has produced many great men and women. This calls for greater dedication, commitment, and support of all of us to stem the tide of this negative trend.
One major challenge facing the over 58,000 residents of the district is a lack of major health facility or district hospital for the area. In this regard, Mr. Nadi Imoro Sanda said plans are far afoot to have a district hospital sited at Issa by the end of 2019. Construction work on a 76,000 Ghana cedis laboratory complex by the Assembly is already complete and handed over to the District Health Directorate to signal their intent.
I was in Accra from 22nd to 25th October 2017, during which I contacted a number of individuals and institutions from both the private and public sectors with copies of the proposals to solicit support. Thankfully, through this effort, one of the celebrated sons of the district has agreed to single-handedly finance the construction of the outpatient department, which is expected to cost about 200,000 Ghana cedis. Again, from the discussions and the contacts we have been making since my return, the MTN Foundation is likely to take up the construction of either the children's or female ward.
Upper West Regional Minister Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan spoke of plans by the government to tackle fallen standards of education.
We are going to target the child, we target the teacher, and finally also target the parent. So these three pillars, we are fastening out initiatives that we can all put together to improve upon education delivery in the region.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Issa.
This is Joy News Prime. We'll take a break and bring you the very latest from the business world. But ahead in this bulletin, a family shattered over the defilement of their 4-year-old girl and Daredevil show off on Boxing Day. We'll be back. Welcome back to the news. Now to the rest of our stories. And father of a 4-year-old girl who was defiled in his school at Nungwa says his family is traumatized by the incident which happened a week ago. Police in Nungwa are yet to arrest the suspect after the incident happened last week Monday. The little girl was in her school at Nungwa when a 30-year-old man lured her into an empty classroom where he inserted his fingers into her genitals. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba has been speaking to the father of the victim and has come through with this report.
A very pretty girl, you can see, and this is what happened to her. A very promising girl, very intelligent. And
voice of the father of the 4-year-old girl who was defiled. I've met him at his Nungwa residence. He holds up a picture of the girl who is a twin. A photo, he says, was taken when the family visited the Ratri Park in Kumasi sometime last year. The little girl is seen very happy in the photo. His father believes the incident has robbed her little girl of her innocence and scarred her for life.
This miscreant will just take her life away just like that. Take her innocence away just like that. So we are hoping that we can be able to bring her back. That we were to forget this incident and get on as a family.
He has been narrating to me what happened last week Monday when his 4-year-old girl went to school.
Well, last week, Monday, December 18th, my twin daughters, as usual, went to school. Now, we have a young student in GSS1 who is a family friend, and she acts like a big sister, or let me say a guardian over the 2 little girls. In the afternoon, while school was in session, he saw a strange man with my 2 little daughters walking away. She ran down from her classroom, went down and told the 2 little girls to go back to their class, which they did. She then went back to her class to continue her studies. Then after a few minutes, it dawned on her that she should go down again to KG1 and find out if the little girls were in their class. When she ran down, she only saw one of them. She asked the one she saw, "Where is your other sister?" And then my daughter said her sister had gone upstairs. So she ran upstairs again. And then whilst going through the classroom, she heard her crying in one of the classrooms. When she attempted to open, it was locked. So she started banging on the door for a while. And when it was open, it was this same strange man that she had seen earlier on with my 2 little girls. There, she only spanked the girl and asked her, "Why are you here when class is in session?" Then she dragged her. The girl is only 4 years, 5 months, not even up to 4.5 years, just barely learning how to talk and express herself. So she dragged her back to the class. She didn't report anything to the authorities. She only came home after school and reported what had happened to my wife. And then when she reported what had happened to my wife on that same Monday, my wife tried to touch the little girl there in her private part. Anytime she touched it, the girl started crying. Anytime she tried to touch her private part, the girl started crying. Then she decided to undress her and see what is going on. And there around her clitoris, she saw that the whole place had turned reddish, bloodish. That's when she called the school headmaster to tell him that something had happened in the school that day. And that's when she also informed me that, look at something happened. And that's from there we arranged.
He says the family is constantly reminded of the ordeal as his daughter won't stop talking about it.
She keeps telling me, she keeps pointing, and that somebody, anytime she sees me, she'll say, "Daddy, somebody put my hand," she'll tell me. Yeah, so another thing was that we should try and get that incident out of her mind. So as much as possible, we don't ask her. But once in a while, she'll tell me, that "Daddy, somebody put the hand," and then she'll tell me. Traumatized. Our Christmas wasn't merry. There was nothing merry in our Christmas. You understand what I'm saying? Your little babies, just less than 4.5 years old. And a 30-year-old man can do this to that little girl, and he's still walking out there a free man. My strongest conviction is that that's not the first time that he has done this. I have the strong belief that he's been doing that in the school. And if it's not picked and locked, I know that he's going to keep on doing that thing. I love my children. I've given them the best that I can. They are gorgeous girls. You see them, you will love them. You go out with them, everybody wants to touch them. They just love them. And for such children to be treated this way by an adult, and he's still walking out there, and what I see is that the uncle and the bishop are just playing delay tactics for this whole thing to lose momentum and die off. That's the feeling I have now. That's the feeling we have now. And it shouldn't be so. Because if it's left unpunished, he's going to do it some more to some other little girls. And my mission now is to make sure that the guy is picked and put behind bars. That he doesn't do that to another little girl anyway. Defiled her, touched her in her private parts, you know. When we got to the hospital, we realized that she had inflammations around her clitoris, a lot of blood clotting all over the place.
Police in Nungwa are yet to arrest the suspect since the incident happened on December 18. Father of the victim alleges that the uncle of the suspect promised to personally take the boy to the police, but that has not happened as the suspect is still at large. For Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
More than 1,000 less privileged members of society celebrated Boxing Day in grand style, courtesy the Feed the Hungry project, an initiative of Royal House Chapel. The project annually seeks to make Boxing Day meaningful to the have-nots. Joy News' Frank Addo reports the patrons were served hot meals and chilled drinks, provided with clothing and screened for various ailments.
By 10 a.m., the porters and destitute who have looked forward to Feed the Hungry project have started trooping in the premises of the Royal House Chapel. They were taken through health screening, after which they were served. Zinabu, who spoke on behalf of other beneficiaries, was grateful for the project.
I'm very happy about this program, and then all and all those are here, all of us are very happy about it, and then everything is good for us.
They were also entertained. The project coordinator, Reverend Rita Kranchiankra, appealed to philanthropists and businessmen and women to support efforts to get children off the streets.
I believe that if every Ghanaian family will pick up one person off the street, we are leaving the government to do everything. And unfortunately, government can't do everything. If every businessman, if every family will pick one child off the street, trust me, Ghana will be a very better place. Some people are what they are today because they never had help. If we give them help, we will raise more doctors, we will raise more lawyers, we will raise more teachers, we will raise more engineers. Let's do it, and Ghana will be a better place.
She promised the project will continue to support the less privileged in society.
This is Joy News Prime. We'll take a break. Now to the rest of our stories. MPs are concerned a 200 million cedis reduction in budgetary allocation to the Roads Ministry in the 2018 budget will negatively impact the economy. Government is giving the ministry 533 million cedis next year compared to 871 million cedis in 2017. Now, ranking member of Parliament's Transport Committee, Kwame Agboja, says government lacks commitment to developing the road sector. Mr. Agboja is asking government to introduce fresh taxes to help deal with the roads problem.
Apart from the fact that the budget for the ministry has been reduced by about 200 million, you will notice that in 2017 they promised to do a couple of things, having been given almost 800 million. As far as I'm aware, they haven't built one millimeter of road. And if you take the MTEF, which is the minister's document, which I was presenting in Parliament, if you look at that, the length of road in 2016 is exactly the length of road in 2017. So in effect, they haven't constructed one single road yet. Secondly, you will also notice that the amount of road work that needed maintenance has also reduced. Far more roads were maintained in 2016 than in 2017. So the question is, where is all this talk about government committed to the road sector? We are very much concerned because the development of this country in many ways depend on how much investment we can put in road. And indeed, road contractors employ people. I mean, road maintenance is everything. So I'm very much concerned. I can understand the apprehension of the road ministry and even the country as a whole. The largest number of questions filed in Parliament by members of Parliament is about roads. And they keep promising everybody, we'll tackle your road, we'll do your road. But this budget suggests that there's no intention of doing any of those things. And it's partly because government did not release much money to them. In fact, less than 50% of their budget was released to them. And to make it worse, they have actually reduced their budget by over 200 million Ghana cedi. We are not in good times in terms of road construction at all.
Away from Parliament, they are normally seen during the Salah festivities displaying their skills, but they came out on Boxing Day too to show off how adept they are on the motorbike. Jifat Kege caught up with the Daredevil bikers on the streets of Caprice here in Accra and our reports.
Hundreds of residents poured onto the streets of Caprice in Accra to watch Daredevil bikers pull off all manner of stunts on a street that's littered with motorbike dealers. Though many have described the stunts as extremely dangerous, the Caprice Motorbikes Dealers Association, organizers of the event, say it is rather a road safety campaign to educate the public on the need to respect and also appreciate the existence of motorbikes and the riders in the country, and by that help reduce accidents. They say rather than see motorcyclists as a nuisance, they must be seen as a vital component of the country's transport system.
We want to tell the general public that it's not like that. It's like there's a campaign should go on so that when people are crossing, maybe the bikers they should watch the people when they are crossing so that the accidents will reduce in Ghana here now because the accident is too much.
You said it's a campaign. What campaign is it?
It's a campaign in the sense that it's not like we want to create awareness. That's the whole thing.
What kind of awareness?
About the way bike is knocking people. You understand? The way bike is knocking people nowadays. And the way the accident of bike is going on, that we don't want it so. We are dealers. We understand, we are dealers. So it's affecting our business. So we want to create something so that people will know that the bike is not like we are using it to knock people, but we sell it for our business.
Some of the bikers who claim several years of experience say it is high time government considered what they do as a sport.
We need government cooperatives to come inside and see how they will help these young guys in what they are doing. You know, this rare talent. They have talent, but they don't have support. You understand? If a government should come in and help build a stadium for them to do something, I think income will come out of it.
Bike is my life. Anytime if they see some motorbike, they expect like the motorbike, they are equivalent. You know, more of them. You understand? But don't judge about that.
Bike is my talent, it's son. That time I was like this age, around getting to 17, 18, I just started live. 17 years now. But you understand, that's my survival once there. That's what I love in life. That's my talent too. All the Okada guys and everybody I'm telling them about, try to be wearing your helmet, riding jacket, everything so that you yourself, if you're riding, you'll be taking care of your life. Bike don't have that, maybe you have talent or bike. You can be doing mistakes. And the drivers too that are in G-age, always careful about your driving too. Always respect motorbikes too.
Viewers who were in awe of the display also shared their excitement.
Actually, first time of coming to watch this program. I think I have fun, and I think what I learned generally is that the motorbike riders, I mean, some people make money out of it, and so we should give them some little respect. Also, watch the road when you are going to cross, we watch for motorbike riders and consider them too. So that's all.
I think what they did was a great work. You know, in Ghana we have bikers, but I think they don't have the support. What I'm taking out of this thing is that I think it's about time they do it more well organized, so that the Ministry of Tourism will come in to make it more formal, so that it will be like a festival. You can see the Jamaicans doing it, the Americans festival. I think Ghana too, with the bikers and the Lebanese combined, it can be a great work. So I encourage it to be.
Have you learned anything from it?
Yeah, I'm a biker, and I've learned the skills. I think these guys are more practical when it comes to the biking. They are used to the brake, the clutch, almost all the techniques in the biking, and I'm learning a lot. I think I'm going to encourage myself on it. Yeah, that's a nice one. Maruj. Mr. Carl is my name. Yeah, I'm on set, so I don't want to mention my real name. All right, thank you.
So, what do you make of what is happening here? Today we came here to watch the car prize motor skill riding, and it was fun because a lot of people talk about it. Last year it was held, and I didn't get a chance to watch, so I came this year to come and watch it. It's fun. I can't ride a motor, but the skill, the way they carry themselves, and that's all I've learned. I don't know how to ride a motor, but with this, I think I want to learn how to ride a motor. Their fun was, however, cut short after the police came to end the show because they said the organizers did not seek their permission.
And that's how we end the bulletin. Join me, Spine. My name is Aisha Bryan. From the rest of the team here, we wish you a happy Boxing Day and have a great evening.